I met a gypsy.
I want to just go back to the nationals. So like the 2019 season results wise, like versus 2020, how big of an improvement did you make in that between those two seasons?
Yeah, it was actually pretty big, especially considering that I went from the 250 class in 2019 to the 450 class, which this year was way, way harder in 450. But I think out of the like 8 rounds I did in 2019, I qualified for like 6 of them, maybe. So, or no, I did 9 rounds and qualified for 6 of them. There were three that I didn't make. So, and then when I did make them, like I think my best finish was like a 23rd, but that was like by far my best finish. I think most of my finishes were in the 30s. And like I was pretty stoked on that because that was like the best that I had ever done up until that point. And then this year, moving to the 450 class, I kind of was like expecting to have kind of some of the same results. Like I wasn't expecting to just easily qualify for all of them or anything like that, but it was actually kind of an easy year, like making it in. I didn't even have to race like many LCQs besides like 1 or 2 of them. Just made it straight in off of time qualifying. And then I had that 17th place at Loretta's and a couple other like low 20s finishes. So this year was like way, way better than last year, especially like I said, given the jump from the 250 to 450 class.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine wanting to race the 450 class either without like being able to essentially train full time.
Yeah, that was kind of the reasoning as to why I did the 250 class before. It was because like I think I'm a better 450 rider, but dude, like trying to ride a 450 at just your local track is gnarly. Trying to hang on to it at the end of a 35-minute pro national is like pretty much suicide if you're not completely prepared for it. So like finally I got a little bit of training time this year, so I knew I wanted to do 450, but yeah, it was definitely a harder class, and the roost hurts, man. Tell you what, you don't get a good start, you've got welts all over you by the end of it.
How gnarly are pro national tracks to do on a 450?
I can't even put it into words, to be honest. I don't think anyone will understand unless they go out there and do it. But like, I mean, it's to the point where you're not even like, I'm not riding near 100% as I can. I'm just trying to survive and not eat shit like every lap. Honestly, like every single lap, there's probably 4 or 5 times when I'm pretty sure I'm like gonna crash hard.
No way,
And
dude.
especially when, and that's when I'm like feeling good. When you start to get tired like halfway through, then it's literally just like you're doubling and tripling the braking bumps, just trying to not crash. So it's insane. But it's also pretty sick. Like some tracks that flow really well when it's rough, like High Point is sick when it's that rough because you just get like literal, like knee deep concrete ruts that you can just rail through. Other tracks like Southwick is an absolute ass beating for sure. It's insane.
What makes Southwick harder? Is it the fact that like nothing sort of stays stable and you're just constantly having to like find a line and you've got to kind of nail it to like stay in it?
Yeah, I think any sand track is just super like physically demanding, and Southwick is definitely the sandiest track on the circuit. But there's like almost no point where you can just sit down and like catch your breath. You're always standing and pulling back on the handlebars because if you don't, you're just going to go right over the bars into the next bump. So yeah, I mean, I obviously there's going to be some Europeans who are calling me out about Lommel and stuff. So I don't even want to think about riding Lommel at a pro national. But yeah, Southwick is gnarly. You just don't ever get a break. And there's no big jumps either to just kind of rest and take a break over too. Like at Redbud, you have like the leap, and pretty much every track has their version of the leap where you can just kind of like, relax your grip, take a breather, and get like resituated. But Southwick is just all like natural, man made. You might get like 2 feet off the ground in some spots, but there's no place to just actually rest.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Dude, we've actually got an idea for a content piece whenever we can like go to Europe. But I'm gonna take Sam and we're gonna do a 30-minute moto at Lommel. Like on the day when like everyone's at, and it's like that's just the stipulation. It's
Nah.
like you cannot leave the track whether you're like doesn't matter if you're like sitting down and rolling around the whole thing, but there's gonna be cameras on us and we are like filming an entire 30-minute moto. And like so Sammy grew up with Jed Beaton, and so they're like real good mates. Jed's like a lord, and we've got like a bunch of mates that are over there doing the GPs right now. But like I would love to just like show the world how much it would suck to be a normal human trying to do 30 minutes at Lommel.
Yeah, I think I'm busy that day, dude.
Nah, I feel like you might. I feel like you might be actually. I feel like you might have just volunteered yourself for that piece of content.
Oh shit. No, I'm down, dude. Honestly, if I could pick one place to like live and train full time, I feel like the Netherlands or somewhere around there where there's all those gnarly, gnarly sand tracks would be so sick. Like, I love the sand as it is, and I always hear about how gnarly those tracks are, but like, it's one of those things, dude, like the supercross track I was talking about. You seriously cannot even grasp how gnarly it is until you actually just go and do it. And like the only videos you ever see are like Jeffrey Hurling's riding it. So you're like,
Yep.
dude, this doesn't even look that rough or whatever. But like if you just watched a regular dude ride it, no. So, I mean, I'm down though. I'm down. I'll never back down from that. That would be sick.
Dude, what about Jeff Walker MXGP one season? Content
Dude, you're
sponsored by
speaking my
KTM.
language, bro. You're speaking my language. If there are some sponsors who want that to happen, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would love to go travel around, meet all the people over there, like ride those tracks with those riders. Like that would be epic.